So, you want to start an animation storytime channel. Well, that's cool. So if you've clicked on this video, that means that you have made that first step in starting your storytime animation journey. Well, I just want to say, I appreciate you for choosing me to guide you along this journey. In this video, I am going to attempt to break down everything you need to know when starting an animation channel. Everything from the software to the equipment you need. I'll also be doing a little tutorial somewhere in this video. Not sure where it's going to be placed at, but I'm going to be dropping some timestamps in the video so it's easy to follow, because I do anticipate this video being a little bit longer. Okay. Alright. Let's just address the elephant in the room. I know some of you guys might be watching this and might be thinking, what makes me qualified to make a video like this? I mean, I only have 1.17k subscribers. I just want to make one thing very clear. This is not a video on how to grow your channel, because if I knew that, I would be doing that. This is a video on what you need to know when starting an animation channel. I am just merely providing valuable information to the masses. That's it. We good? Alright, great. Let's get started. So the first thing I want you to do is ask yourself why. Why do you want to start an animation channel? Because if you're looking for instant gratification or instant fame, you might want to rethink your why, because making animation videos is a lot of work. It could take you from hours to days to weeks, shoot, to months, depending on your schedule. But the point is, it takes a lot of hard work. And you also have to be prepared with the fact that even with all that work you just put in, your video might not even get up to 100 views. You gotta really ask yourself if that's gonna discourage you or motivate you to keep going. And if you're still watching after I just hit you with that reality check, that might just mean you are down to get down and dirty and gritty with this. So let's get it. I personally believe that your channel name is one of the most important things that you need to put a lot of attention to, because your channel name represents you and represents the brand you're trying to portray. Come up with something original. It could be a name, it could be a nickname, it could be a childhood name. Whatever it is, just make it you. Put it this way, let's say you make it and you've blown up and you're big now, and you're walking down the street and one of your fans recognizes you and calls you by your channel name. If you're proud to hear that name, then you got a good one. If you're not, then you might want to just go back to the drawing board and really think about the name you want to put on your channel, because again, this is the brand you're trying to portray. I mean, you could always rebrand and stuff, but I don't really know if that's what you want to do, because sometimes it could be difficult to recover from that, but you know, who knows. So designing the character to me is the fun part of this whole process, because this is when you let your creative juices flow. This is when you get to experiment, because you're actually trying to portray yourself in physical form. So my advice is, when creating a character, make sure you have something unique about your character so it can stand out from the rest, because you know, YouTube has a lot of storytime animation channels and you just want something to really just set you apart from the rest. It could be something simple, honestly. Take my character for example. He has that one dread hanging out of the afro. That in itself is simple but yet unique. And I would hope that at some point that would be the defining feature of my character. Other unique features could be the type of clothes your character wears or the character itself. Take Wolfie Chew as an example. Her character is a mix of a wolf and a human. That in itself is pretty unique. And also, her character kind of represents her channel name with the wolf and the wolf character and everything. So she had the whole trifecta. She was good. The odd ones out is another one that comes to mind. Just a white silhouette with some eyes and a mouth. Pretty simple, pretty unique, and very straight to the point. So don't overthink it. Just make your character simple and concise. Because I don't think you want to design a overly complicated character, because you got to remember, you are putting this character in every video, so you don't want to draw that a lot. So make it simple and again concise. I gotta ring it home. Simple and concise. Before I move to the next part of this video, I just want to say, don't beat yourself up if you're not satisfied with the first version of your character. You gotta understand, you're just starting out. With time, it's gonna get better. I mean, how do you think my character went from this, to this, to this, now to this? It's with practice and repetition. So don't beat yourself up. You're gonna get there. Just put the work in. That's all you gotta do. So when it comes to the equipment you're gonna be using, you're really only gonna need 3 things: a microphone, a drawing tablet, and a computer. So I'm just gonna say it. The drawing tablet is probably gonna present the most challenging obstacle in your way because you're trying to figure out what drawing tablet is quality and what's not. Also, you might be on a budget so you don't really know what to get. Now, honestly, my recommendation for that is to watch a lot of YouTube videos on people reviewing drawing tablets so you can make an informed decision. I also know some people just don't want to be bothered watching YouTube videos on what tablets to buy, so for that, what I could just do is let you know the one I use. So I use a Huion Canvas Pro 16. It gets the job done and it's very easy to use. Now, as far as like the specs and the details for that, I'm not the guy to break that down. I would suggest watching this YouTuber called Brad Kobo. He goes into full detail breaking down what the Huion Canvas Pro 16 is all about. So, if you want a peace of mind, go watch that video. I will link it in the description. Also, I'll link in the description the tablet itself so you can go get it if you want. So for the microphone, again, I would suggest doing your own research, but for the people that don't want to do it, I use a Audio Technica AT 2020 studio microphone. So I'll link this in the description. I'm actually going to be linking the pack version. So it's going to come with the mic stand, the pop filter, the headphones, the microphone, and the cords you need. And with this microphone, you're going to need to purchase an audio interface. I'll link that in the description as well. And I just want to make this clear that these things are not cheap. The microphone pack is about $176. And the audio interface is about $120. So I really suggest you do your research on what's comfortable for you and your budget. So when it comes to animating, you could use a multitude of softwares. So I'm not well versed in a lot of softwares, I can only tell you about the ones I use. So I use 3 programs when I do my animation. I use Audacity, which is an audio recording software that I use to record my Storytime videos. I use Krita, which is like a free digital painting software. That's what I use to draw all my scenes and paint all my scenes and stuff like that. And I use Filmora 11 to put everything in video form. But you know what? I could talk your head off about what I use and how I do this and how I do that, but I'd rather show you. So I'm gonna do a brief tutorial on how I kind of get things done so you can use it as a reference going forward on your journey. Okay, so I'm doing this live and I'm probably gonna make a lot of mistakes, so please bear with me. So what you can see right now is the Krita app open, and what I'm gonna be doing is animating a bouncing ball. So before I get started, I'm just going to go over a couple of things, like what you see to the left where it says layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3. That's the layer panel, and a layer is basically what separates I'm not doing this again, one take, that's it. A layer is what separates elements of a image. Pretty much when you see like a drawing where it has a background, a midground, and a foreground, usually those are drawn on different layers. So think of it as a stack of paper, right? So let's say you got a stack of paper. Excuse the drawing. Well, this is just terrible. Dang it. Well, fun fact, I do not have a straight hand. I don't know how to draw straight lines. So let's just, you know what? One more time. Okay. We got it. Screw it. I don't care. But anyway, so you have a stack of paper, right? The one at the top would be the foreground because it's the first thing you can see. The bottom would be the background. And what's in between would be the midground. So you could look at it as even just like a normal portrait or like a drawing. Let's say the background, you have a human over here, and you have like a desk. I would use the desk as the foreground. I would use obviously the background as the background, and I would use the human as the midground. Because one thing you're gonna notice when you start animating is when you start coloring, those layers matter. Because if I'm drawing this as the foreground, anything overlapping this would be taken out by that color. Because again, you gotta think of it. This is the foreground, so it's the top piece of paper, so nothing at the bottom you can see. So it's just the same thing. I don't know if that makes any sense, but maybe if you request if you want a more in-depth tutorial, I can do that, but just for the sake of the video and the time, I'm just gonna move right along to the actual animation. All right, so now that I have kind of explained what a layer is, well, I think I did a good job, but I don't know. I'm gonna start off by naming my layers. So the first layer is gonna be the guideline. Second layer is gonna be my sketch. And my third layer is gonna be the line art. Okay. So I'm going to create a frame right here. And a frame is pretty much where you do your sketches, pretty much. What makes up the images you want to portray, I think. Gonna reduce the opacity of the guidelines so it doesn't get in the way. But basically, this is my base. This would be my base. This is where I want the ball. My bad. This is the direction I want the ball to bounce in. So I wanted to hit that and springboard over there. So pretty much the guideline is the direction of where I wanted to go. So I'm just gonna reduce the opacity again. Now we're gonna go to the sketch. First thing I want to do is create a frame. With Krita, you always have to create a frame before you actually start doing anything. So now that I have my first frame, which is these blue boxes right here, but for this layer, for the sketch layer, I'm gonna start off doing my first pause, go to the second layer. Now once I go to another layer, it kind of deletes what I had over here before. To solve that, you want to just hit this button, the onion skin, then it shows what we just drew prior. Now on this new frame, we can draw a second ball, do another frame, third ball, and I'm just gonna speed through this because you get the point. Okay, so now I'm done with that, and I am just gonna see what I have. I'm gonna take out the onion skin, highlight all of this, and see. Actually, I'm just gonna move my mouse to see the ball bounce, and we can actually see the ball bounce. See, it's pretty decent. Well, I know it starts off a little bit big and go small, but that's like, it's just a sketch. It's not supposed to be perfect. I'm actually not gonna refine this with the line art. I was gonna use the line art to actually just make it more clean, but just for the sake of time, I'm pretty sure this whole tutorial thing is taking longer than I wanted to. But anyways, so basically we have this. So what we can do to add on to this is add another layer for the color. And remember, with layers, you always want to make the color below. You want to make the color layer below the actual drawing you have, because again, with the stack of paper, you want to see the outlines, so you don't want the color to overlap the outlines. You want the colors to be within the outlines of any drawing. Okay, so with the colors, you want to start off by, again, creating a new frame. Hit the color layer. And we could use, I don't know, we could use this color, I guess. I don't know. So we draw our, first of all, we could hide that layer. So with the colors, you also want to put them on separate frames to match the frames of your drawings. And I am just going to speed up through this again. Okay, done with that. Again, we can check what we got so far. Yep. I mean, we got something decent, you know. All right, but you know what? I'm not going into an in-depth tutorial. This is just for the sake of the video. Just don't hold me accountable for all of this. If you want a better tutorial, put it in the description or in the comment. Well, put it in the comment, not in the description. Put it in the comments, not in the description. I am not doing a second take. One take, that's all I'm doing. I don't give a fuck. Okay, so after we've gotten to this point, what I do is then save these as image sequence, as an image sequence by rendering the animation and saving it to a file. Let's create a bounce. I don't know why it says ball bounce, but anyways, select the folder. Oh, so we're gonna bounce. Select the folder, then we will save these 22 frames as 22 images that we are going to then transfer to the Filmora software and make it into a video. And I will see you guys in the next portion of this video when we are in Filmora. Okay, so I have Filmora open right now, and what I'm going to be doing is importing those images I drew on Krita. I'm going to import them over here and, attempt to make a video from it. So let's go to File, go to Import Media. So I'm just going to highlight all of these drawings and hit Open, and we got our images on the dashboard. All right, I'm gonna stop. Okay, so what you want to do is move everything to the timeline. Oh, and the good thing about this is kind of numbered, so I know where the sequence is starting and going. I'm just gonna move all this to the timeline. I'm gonna speed this up real quick. So I got everything on the timeline, and if I just play it, you can see it's not really moving as smooth as you would want it to move. That's because they are all set at different time durations. So about to click this side, you see this pop up. It says it says duration 15 seconds. That means this image is currently at 15 seconds before it like switches to the next images. But if I can move this image all the way down to like 3 seconds, as a matter of fact, I can highlight everything, right click, go to duration, and we want to make everything just 3 seconds. Bang. Now if we play it, we have more of a bounce. I think I'm fine with 3 seconds. So, it has a black background because when I drew on Krita, I drew on a transparent background. I forgot to mention, I don't really like drawing on backgrounds, like on white backgrounds or anything. I like drawing on transparent backgrounds. I don't know why, but that's just my personal preference. But since this is just a ball bounce, we could use like a normal background color or anything. So, cool thing about Filmora, it does have some sample colors you can use. Let's use a misty gray. Oh, this is a perfect example of how to explain layers. You see how this misty gray is right above the ball bounce layer? That's an example of how putting one thing on top of another. This is an example of putting one layer on top of a layer on the top of another layer where it's not supposed to be. So if I play this, you're not going to see the ball bounce. You're only going to see the gray because it's at the top layer. So what you want to do is go here, open track manager. We want to add a layer, place a layer below track 1. Hit OK. Then we move this right here. Now the top layer becomes the ball, and we can see the ball bounce like so. I guess that's like the best way I can actually explain it. Actually, I don't think I want to use red, gray. Let's try this. Okay, so anyways, so this is pretty much what we have. And in a sense, this is where you can start adding your background music, your sound effects, and pretty much anything you want to do. It has effects you could use. We can make it all, one second, we can, if this would decide to, change. Okay. We can add like a shake, play it. You see, now it's like a shake. There are different effects you can use on this software. It's pretty cool. You can make it a black and white. No, I use this a lot if you watch my videos. Right there. It's a lot of things you can use, buddy. Like I'm just saying, go crazy, hermit. You can use this. Yeah. Ooh, this is fire. Okay. Bam. Okay. All right. I'm done. But anyways, you get the point. So you can kind of use this tutorial as a reference point to doing your videos wherever you get stuck. You can kind of like refer back to this, and maybe it might refresh or sharpen your imagination. So I'm just gonna end this part off right here. I think we got enough content with the tutorial where you can actually use it as a reference. Also, like I said again, if you want me to do like an in-depth tutorial, or maybe on my next video I actually record the process and maybe put that as like a separate video where I just show how I did an actual scene from an actual video I put out. It's actually a good idea. If you want me to do that, please comment that in the comment section and I'll do that for you. But anyways, let's go on. Let's move on with the video. Oh my goodness, I'm done with this whole tutorial stuff. Now, personally, I believe your audio is the most important part of your animation. Some people might say it's the animation itself, and I guess you wouldn't be wrong, but to me, I believe it's your voice that grabs the attention of the listener or the viewer. Now, when recording your audio, this is what I want you to do. Alright, gather round, listen up. I want you to put yourself in that very moment of when that event was happening to you. I want you to give the same reaction. I want you to give the same emotion. I want you to project those feelings into your vocals, because if you sound interested in your own story, there's a good chance that the people listening will be interested as well. You'd never want to sound monotone, because that's vanilla. That's boring. Ain't nobody trying to hear a monotone person. So use vocal inflections and be one with your story. Which brings me to your script. Now this part I don't really have that much information for you, because fun fact, I don't use a script. I don't write a script. All my videos that I've put out on this channel, I did not write a script for any of them, and my reason would be because I would feel limited and constrained to those words on that paper or Word document. I want to have free range to express my vocal range and make sure that I'm giving that genuine reaction. I don't feel like I can give that from reading from a script. But that's just me. You might get a better outcome from reading from a script, but there's not a one-size-fits-all in doing this. That's the thing you gotta understand. Do what works for you and you might just find gold. So as I wrap this video up, I just want to leave you guys with a few of my final thoughts. Just do it. Do it. Put that first video out. I know you're nervous, but just put it out. Believe me, it's like a big weight, a heavy weight lifted over your shoulder. The first video is always going to be the hardest one to put out, but just do it. It might not be the best, it might not measure up to what you see on YouTube, but just do it, okay? Because you're not going to improve if you don't put out any product for people to criticize, so do it, okay? And to end this video, I'm going to leave you guys with the quote that I just came up with. The world is a big canvas of inspirations, from the natural color patterns you see, the music you hear, and the people you speak to. It's on you to inspire yourself from what you see, because while you're looking at the world is looking back at you like a reflection, but it's also waiting for you to inspire it as well. Let me get some finger snaps. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, please leave a like and comment on the video telling me what part you actually like the most. And if you want me to make more videos like this, please let me know in the comments. I have no problem making videos like this. So with that being said, again, please like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. I'm out.